Good evening. This is Joanne Marshall. The date is October 21st, 2017, and I'm on Alternative News Network again with another disturbing article. The title of this article is Investigative Journalist Who Exposed Elite Pedophile Ring Found Dead. Liz Mackean, the former British investigative reporter who exposed Jimmy Savile and the culture of pedophile protection at the BBC, has been found dead. She was 52. The BBC, who blocked her groundbreaking investigation from airing and spent the next few years attempting to destroy her reputation, are reporting that she died of complications from a stroke. Acknowledging her life was under threat during the time she was investigating Savile and BBC elites, Mackean said her conscience left her no option but to pursue the truth and expose the culture of pedophilia. The mother of 2 children believed it was her duty. When it became public that BBC News blocked the investigation from airing, she admitted on Panorama, "I was very unhappy the story didn't run because I felt we'd spoken to people who collectively deserved to be heard, and they weren't heard. I thought that was a failure. I felt we had a responsibility towards them. We got them to talk to us, but above all, we believed them. And so then, for their stories not to be heard, I felt very bad about that. I felt very much that I'd let them down." Big name stars. Liz Mackean is the second high-profile BBC journalist to die in suspicious circumstances after attempting to expose the truth about the pedophilia ring operating in the upper reaches of the establishment. Jill Dando, former Crime Watch host, also tried to alert her bosses to the pedophile ring at the BBC, warning that big name stars were implicated. Jill Dando, who was 37, was shot dead on April 26, 1999, on the doorstep of her West London home in a crime that still remains unsolved. Before she died, Dando had passed a file to senior management in the mid-1990s, proving that big-name BBC stars, including Savile, were involved in a pedophile ring, but senior management chose to cover up the child abuse rather than organize an investigation. No one wanted to know when Dando raised concerns about the alleged ring and other sexual abuse claims at the BBC, according to a former colleague and friend. "I don't recall the names of all the stars." Let me reread that. "I don't recall all the names of all the stars now, and don't want to implicate anyone, but Jill said they were surprisingly big names. I think she was quite shocked when told about images of children, and that information on how to join this horrible pedophile ring was freely available. Jill said others had complained to her about sexual matters, and that some female workmates also claimed they had been groped or assaulted. Nothing had been done, and there were Nothing had been done, and there seemed to be a policy of turning a blind eye. The former colleagues said female BBC staff confident in Jill, one of the best-known TV faces of the day after fronting primetime show, including Holiday and the 6 o'clock news as well as Crime Watch. The source said, "I think it was in the mid-1990s. She was seen as the face of the BBC and a magnet for women with problems." That's the end of this article. Oh no, it's almost the end of this article. We got one more paragraph here. Okay, returning to the article. She accused the BBC of attempting to cover up a scandal that tied powerful elites to child abuse and murder. Since her investigation was shut down, the truth about Jimmy Savile has come to light, and some, but not all, of her work for Newsnight was finally aired in the BBC's Abused, the Untold Story. Her story about the child abuse committed by Savile made headlines across the world after the BBC was accused of trying to cover up the story by shelving it. Prior to the smear campaign against her work, she also won the Daniel Pearl Award for Outstanding International Investigative Journalism for her work on a series of Newsnight reports in 2010 about toxic dumping in West Africa. Okay, now that's the end of this article. Okay, right here is a video. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to leave the description of this article in the... I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description of this video. I want every one of you to go to this page, click on the link, read the article for yourself. It's not a very long article. And watch this video at the end of the article. This has to stop, people. These two women, Liz Mackean and Dando, these are not hirelings. These are real reporters. These are real journalists. These women literally, in an attempt to bring us the truth in the hopes of protecting children, listen to their conscience, even knowing it could cost them their lives. I don't think Alex Jones would do that. Do you? But these two did. And it did cost them their lives. But remember what Liz Mackean said. Or was it Dando? Being a mother of two, she felt it was her duty. How many of you there are parents, or aunts or uncles, grandparents? Is it not your duty also? No matter the cost, in order to protect the children. order to protect the children. Stop turning a blind eye and regain your humanity. Speak out. Not with hashtags, but with t-shirts. Individually. Every single time you see something suspicious or outright wrong, pay attention to your gut feelings, your intuition. Pray. Go to the websites that teach you the signs to look for. I'll see if I can find them and perhaps put in another video for you. But do not count on others to do your own research. Start with them, yes, and then do your own. For the children, for your humanity. Do you really want to be like these psychopathic pedophile monsters? Every day you see something or know something, and you allow fear to stop you from protecting the innocent, you lose your humanity. How much of it do you have left? Heroes are not people that kick a football. I don't have anything against sports. True heroes are not actors, unless they are doing something to change things. Some are. They don't just say, they do. The majority of heroes who do something to save lives are not seeking fame. Most of them we will never know. We never know their names or their pictures. True heroes put themselves last. True heroes are truly human. Human. Do you remember what being human is? The moment you decide that it's none of your business, the moment you decide someone else will call, the moment you choose to believe the lie that they deserve it, or that so-and-so wanted it, you become a monster. You lose your humanity bit by bit. Be careful, because you may never get it back. Stop turning a blind eye. Decide. Decide. I'm not going to be a monster. I'm not going to be a psychopath. I'm not going to choose myself over the most innocent, over children. This is Joanne. Please stay safe do everything in your power to gain your humanity.